Hi everyone, this is Ben Falcon's Media Corner back again with a brand new AK After a Soul review episode for today, which this one's going to be on another film I saw last year in 2021, which this one I actually saw this for, I actually saw this film for free at my job, and it was actually the last film I actually saw at my job for free before 2022 was about to open a new door to us all. So today I'm here to talk to you guys about the 2021 action spy film, and this is the prequel to the series that began since 2014, and that is The Kingsman. So The Kingsman was directed by Matthew Vaughn, who has already directed the two Kingsman movies, The Secret Service and The Golden Circle. And like I said, this is the prequel to the series in which we follow the origin story of the Kingsman organization and the birth of that organization, of how it all happened before we were introduced in the first original movie. And this is basically set in the 20th century during the events of World War One and other events from the past. And we follow different set of new characters in this film. Doesn't involve any of the characters from the previous two the two movies that we were already introduced to the series. It consists like old century figure like characters in this film, and we follow and has some big names in this film like Fiennes, Gemma, Arteton, and Djimon, Hounsou, and Rhys, Ifans, and a bunch of other casts in this film. And we follow Fiennes' character, Duke of Oxford, who is the leader who created the Kingsman organization. We follow him and his team, where basically they stop like the worst tyrants and criminal masterminds from preventing anything that they're about to do to the world that was pure evil, of course. And we see in this film we follow Fiennes and his team. Basically, they have to go up against a bunch of new criminal masterminds who are about to destroy humanity, and it will cause some millions of lives. So that's pretty much the story of The Kingsman. Now, I like the first Kingsman movie a lot. It is a really fun, entertaining spy film, and I thought Matthew Vaughn did a really great job in introducing this new series of spy films outside of Jason Bourne, James Bond, Mission Impossible, which I'm a big fan of those series, but Matthew Vaughn did a really great job of introducing this new series of spy films, and just like I said, I had a really fun time with the first movie. It is a really fun and entertaining movie. And The Golden Circle, the second movie, it does get a bit of criticism, that one, but I do think that one is a pretty decent movie. It is nowhere near as good as the first, but does have some entertaining moments which I really liked. So when I heard we were getting a prequel to this series, I was pretty interested in what Matthew Vaughn could do a prequel for this series, because again, I really enjoyed the first movie a lot, and like I said, I do think the second one was just decent but not great. And I was surprised with the cast who were in this movie. You got Rhys Fiennes, he's a really good actor. I liked him in Schindler's List, Harry Potter, and as well as like Skyfall, Spectre, and of course No Time to Die. And you've got Gemma Arteton, she is appearing in a few things here and there. I think she's pretty talented. And Djimon, I think he's a great actor from A Quiet Place Part 2, Blood Diamond, and Gladiator, and amongst other things. And you got Rhys Ifans, which I think he's a pretty talented actor. And there were some other faces in the film I didn't even know who were in this film, and some I didn't even recognize from what they were from. And this film was originally scheduled for a 2019 release, but it got delayed a few times, and it was supposed to be released back in 2020, back in February, and then September. Then it got pushed to last year, and it was originally scheduled for February, then March, and then August, and then they decided to release it around Christmas time. And I was hoping it would, because everyone's been waiting for this film, including myself. And I really wanted to see this film since I really enjoyed the first movie a lot. So I went to see this for free at my job on the 29th of December, and I managed to get myself a free ticket, which I still have right here. And I'd like to say to my View Cinema, my job, thank you so much for this free ticket. I really much appreciate that, for helping me getting a free ticket to see this movie I was dying to see. So, and was this worth the delays? Not really. Is this bad? No. It's just overall a decent watch for me. But yeah, I'd say this is definitely another decent entry to this series, along with The Golden Circle. And this is obviously nowhere near as good as the first movie. The first film still has loads of fun, but the cast in the film did a really good job for their performances. Rhys Fiennes, Gemma Arteton, Djimon, Hounsou, and Rhys Ifans and Dickinson and all that. I thought everyone was really good in this movie for their characters, to play old century characters in this film. And they were pretty fun as well for the most part in the film. Like Rhys Ifans, who plays one of the villains in this movie, he is pretty fun. He is insanely funny in the movie as one of the villains in this movie. but the character development really is, I kind of found them to be pretty weak, along with its story. The story in this film, I found it pretty weak. While the first few minutes of the film I thought were pretty interesting, but when it gets to like new events in this film, like new events that have happened in the past, I kind of found that pretty much weak. And there were some scenes that kind of drag on a little bit, but I wouldn't say they're not like frustratingly boring that I just want to like I'm just like waiting for the film to finish and just go home, because there was still some moments I still tend to enjoy really, which I would say that's just my biggest problem I have with this film, just the weak character development and the weak story. But the action sequences here in this film are still fun and entertaining in this movie. They are pretty violent like the other movies, but I wouldn't say they are as incredibly memorable like the first movie. But the action sequences were pretty fun for the most part, and yet they are pretty dumb as well. And I've got nothing else to say other than The Kingsman. It was just a decent watch. It's nowhere near as good as the first film. And I don't know if I like this one a little bit more than The Golden Circle. I don't know where I would put this if I would have to rank this series. But if you are a fan of the series, if you missed your chance to see this in cinemas, it is streaming on Disney Plus, and there are other few ways I can recommend it. If you're a fan of spy films, or if you're a fan of the two original films, or if you're a fan of the cast or the director. So that's pretty much all I have to say about The Kingsman overall, other than it was just a decent watch for me. I'm going to give The Kingsman 3 out of 5. Yeah, it's definitely another decent action film we've had last year, along with The Matrix Resurrections, which I've already reviewed. I thought that one was decent, and this one I'd say is just decent. But I would say I think Matrix Resurrections I might enjoy that one a little bit more than this one. This is definitely not a disappointing film for me. It was just a decent watch, and I would just watch this movie maybe just one time. I would watch the first original film just loads of times, because that one's definitely my favorite in the franchise. And The Golden Circle, I will watch it just once in a lifetime. So, thank you guys so much for watching for my AK After a Saw review on The Kingsman, and let me know what you think of this film if you have seen this already, or if you've just recently seen it, if you've seen this on Disney Plus. Did you have a really good time with it, or were you disappointed with this film? So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more reviews, and as always, this has been Vaughn's Media Corner signing off.